University, and today I have been privileged to extend my warm welcome to all present here for today's event. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. As sunlight expels the darkness of night, similarly, blessings bring in our life prosperity and happiness. To make this event a blessed one, time and support, we would like to present a beautiful bouquet to our distinguished guest of honor. May I request Professor K.K. Dave, President PAHED, Professor Hemant Kothari, Dean PG Studies, to kindly come forward and present the bouquet and honor with Mewari turban and upanna to a respectable guest of honor, Shri Mohanji. Once again, we extend our deepest gratitude to you, Sri Mohanji, for honoring us with your esteemed presence. We hope that this bouquet serves as a reminder of the warmth and respect we hold for you in our hearts. Also, I request institutions of Pahel University to kindly come forward and welcome our respectable guests of honor by offering guardians.
You can come close. Yes.
मैडम पीछे से
Now, I request Professor Pushpa Meheru, Director, Pacific College of Law, Pahel University, Udaipur, to kindly come forward and present the bouquet and honor with Mewari turban and upanna to the respectable Srimati Devi Mohan, wife of Sri Mohanji. Welcome, ma'am. Thanks to all of you. Now, moving ahead, I would like to invite Professor Hemant Kothari, Dean PG Studies, for the welcome address.
ब्रह्म ऋषि मोहन जी के चरणों में सादर नमन. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. It's an momentous and joyful occasion for all of us today, as we all shall be bestowed with bounties of blessings by respected Brahma Rishi Mohanji, here to sail us through the blurry picture of life, so that we can achieve our life goals with more harmony, clarity, peace, and happiness, and can give meaning to our presence on earth as humans. It's my honor, privilege to welcome Brahma Rishi Mohanji here in this university on behalf of entire Pacific family, especially on behalf of our chairperson, Shri Rahulji Agarwal, President, Honorable Professor K.K. Dave, and CEO, Shri Sharadji Kothari. Brahma Rishi Mohanji, your presence has made the soil of Pacific more pure, energetic, and glorified. Once again, from bottom of my heart, I welcome you in the university.
Today, we are very much delighted to have with us respectable and admirable Sri Mohanji as a guest of honor and today's speaker for today's event. I would like to call upon Sri Madhusudan Rajgopalan, CEO, Mohanji Foundation, to introduce our honorable guest and of honor, Sri Mohanji, to all of us.
After the introduction? During the introduction, now. Okay. Can we not? I don't know how far down. It will come down. Yes. So, just you 50. So that is clear so that audience can view the. लाइटें जला दो, पीछे की लाइट लगा दो, एक दो, ज़्यादा नहीं।
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you. On behalf of Mohanji Foundation, it's my honor and my privilege to have this opportunity to do a short introduction on Mohanji. My name is Madhusudan. I serve as CEO for Mohanji Foundation globally. And in the next few minutes, I'll just take you through a short introduction of who Mohanji is and the work that we do around the world in the various organizations that he's founded. And before I start, I want to thank Pacific University, specifically Professor Dave, Mohanji, Sharatji, all the team that have been so gracious and so hospitable and making us feel a part of the Pacific University family. Thank you very much for all the hospitality that we've received so far. What you see on the slide here is what we call the Mohanji Global Platforms, because as you will see in the video shortly, Mohanji's movement around the world is about, Mohanji's purpose in his life is about raising awareness and shifting people's frequency from gross material thoughts to things that represent the highest human values of compassion, kindness, and unconditional love. And to do this, he's created various platforms. This cover slide that you see is actually a representation of how that actually works in practice. People from around the world come together, united by a purpose, and participate in various platforms out of their own volition and as per their own individual inclination.
Mohanji, a human being, a husband, a father, a humanitarian, a guide for many, and for all, a friend you can trust. It all began with a man who was once known as Mohan. In the early 2000s, Mohan was having a successful career in the logistics and shipping industry. He had everything a material life could give him. Then, on August 23rd, 2000, fate shook him hard. His precious daughter, Amu, was killed in a tragic road accident. This was a turning point for him. It led him to an intense search for meaning. Years of self-exploration took him to the realm of silence. Beyond the noises of the mind and the material world, what he found was himself. And this is when Mohan became Mohanji. Despite being a chronic introvert, he began holding talks and sharing what he personally discovered through his own experience. Today, this is captured by his simple teaching, be you. Turning pain into a purpose, he founded AmuCare in 2003 to serve the needy and deliver food, clothing, shelter, education, and healthcare beyond all man-made barriers. He started AmuCare with his own savings, and although he was told it wouldn't last even 1 year, today, after many years, he stands strong and proud. He is active in India and has expanded to many countries in the world under the name of ACT Foundation. To consolidate his teachings, meditations, and practices, the Mohanji Foundation was established. It has its headquarters in Switzerland and has many foundations registered across the world and activities on all continents. Mohanji's vision is to raise the human awareness to the highest values of humanity: kindness, compassion, selflessness, unconditional love, and non-violence. As there are many types of people, Mohanji has also founded various platforms to add value to the world across a wide range of activities. Mohanji's mission is to bring back goodness and righteousness on earth and to shift the humankind to being kind humans.
Thank you. So as you see the slogan on the slide, adding value to the world is how we describe our mission as Mohanji Foundation and all the organizations affiliated to Mohanji. Next slide. I spoke about global platforms. This slide depicts the various movements that have been created. You will see on the top left bucket where you see teachings and practices. These are the essential components of the Mohanji Foundation, which has a spiritual background. So all the spiritual teachings, which is about raising awareness, self-transformation, those are all housed inside Mohanji Foundation, which is headquartered in Switzerland, registered in 18 countries, and an active presence in more than 90 countries around the world. So all the meditations that Mohanji has given to the world are available for free on our website. They're available in 40 plus languages, and millions of people are using them every day for their benefit. Below that you see selfless service. In the video you heard about Ammocare in India and ACT Foundation. So these are pure service organizations entirely run by volunteers. We do activities related to donation of food, clothing, shelter, environment. We help in situations of disaster as well as in skill development and empowerment. So that's the selfless service platform. On the top right, you see things which are more related to transformation and what we also call somewhat neutral, because the World Consciousness Alliance is created for bringing entertainers from different walks of life and using entertainment and arts as a way of spreading positivity and affecting change. We have the Mohanji Youth Club, which is for children youth between the ages of 18 and 30, and orienting them with an attitude of service and compassion so that when they go into corporate life and beyond, that becomes endemic to their lifestyle. We also have the Early Birds Club, which was started during the early days of the COVID lockdown to encourage a lifestyle of waking up early and using that time to become stable as individuals and then going out to the world. So that has 3 wings for adults, for the teenagers, as well as for the children, each with a slightly different flavor so that it appeals to them. We also have another group of institutions called the Himalayan Academy of Traditions. This is a group that Mohanji created or founded with the idea that we need to bring the traditional knowledge and the wisdom of the land of Bharat, be it in yoga, be it in dance, in music, in traditional martial arts like Kalaripayattu and more, and take that in a fashion that it reaches the world and the message reaches them about the true potential, because each of these is for self-transformation and for stability, and in its authentic form as it was prescribed ages ago by the saints of India. That's the essence of what Himalayan Academy is putting together. We also have a media wing where people from following Mohanji have brought out a publication called The Awakening Times, which is a digital magazine on spiritual topics and awakening, and M-House Media. So you see Thea here, she leads M-House Media. So this is about making ad films, all our photo video work, everything to kind of communicate the messages that organizations like Mohanji Foundation and others take to the world. Guru Light is another organization which is about arranging pilgrimages and programs which expose the knowledge of Bharat and about transformation over the power centers and the immense potential in our land. During COVID, the other thing that Mohanji also founded is a series of festivals, because in a time of uncertainty and darkness where everyone was getting kind of depressed, he said the right way to kind of activate people and take them to brightness is through an atmosphere of celebrations. So we have a festival of consciousness, then there came a festival of youth, and last year there was also a festival of womanhood, which is for exploring and expressing various aspects of the feminine, purely run by the women. The next one's coming up actually in a couple of months. So if you see the canvas, what you will see is that there's various platforms. Each of them has a very distinct purpose because the audience is different. The people that are participating in it are also different. And as you will hear Mohanji speak later, everyone is a unique individual and you need the right platform for you to be able to express yourself, which is why all of these have been created with complete freedom for each individual to join, wherever they feel drawn to. Next. skip this. We'll just show the video. We have one video and then I won't hold the stage anymore. Just to give you an impact, an idea of the kind of work that all our platforms put together do in a year. This is a little dated. The newest video is coming next week.
What's the relevance of the Mohanji Foundation?
The relevance of Mohanji Foundation, if I have to say very simply, is adding value to the world.
Those words sound nice, right? Well, they are more than words for us. They drive every action of ours. 2022 marked a decade since Mohanji left his corporate career to dedicate his life to serving the world. This purpose has ignited the hearts of many, with presence on all 6 habitable continents. Let me show you the global impact we had last year. As the restrictions of COVID went back, our activities grew manifold. ACT and Amuka are platforms dedicated to providing food, shelter, clothing, and education expanded into 4 new countries, now totaling 28. We established humanitarian hubs in both Ukraine and Sri Lanka to better help those in need. In India, we launched the Anadan app, making it much easier to feed the hungry tummies around the country. Around the world, Act for Hunger broke its yearly record for the amount of food served to all beings of Earth. And the fruit tree plantation drive ensured food for generations to come. Our signature program from Mohanji, Empowered, held its first ever in-person, powerful and transformative retreat in Serbia. Our impact brought recognitions and reward for the work we do in the world, and growth brought new partnerships and associations, united with the same purpose: to raise the awareness of people and inspire positive action across the world. 2022 was a landmark year for our new spaces, the Mohanji Centers of Benevolence, beacons of unity, harmony and stability. These centers welcome all and guide people to their true nature. Our groundbreaking project to bring Lord Krishna home in Vrindavan took strides forward with the acquisition of land for the temple. This fantastic amount of work couldn't have been possible without the hundreds of volunteers who tirelessly contributed their time, skills and friendship, and most importantly, their love, to leave Earth a better place. As Mohanji says, true wealth is what you give to Earth, not from what you take. We have so much more to do in the world, and this is just a beginning. Join us in our mission to shift humankind to kind humans, and let's together make a difference.
I'm sorry I'm keeping you standing. The video had a reference to the Mohanji Centers of Benevolence. These are the centers which are being established across various continents now, and these are the spaces of transformation, or what we would call in our Indian terminology our ashrams. So they are open to all. They are places where people can experience the entire lifestyle, the teachings, lifestyle of respect, lifestyle of ahimsa, non-violence, and can participate in programs and activities. There are temples, there is nature. So it's just beautiful places that are taking shape. Just one more slide. These are all the locations where we have Mohanji Centers of Benevolence as of now. Canada, the USA that came up in 23, Slovenia and Serbia in Eastern Europe, Scotland, South Africa, Australia, and in India, our primary space is in a town called Ganeshpuri, which is just 2 hours outside Mumbai. And I'll end by inviting all of you to our upcoming program on our land in Mohanji Center of Benevolence in Ganeshpuri. Mohanji's birthday falls on the 23rd of February, and every year it's kind of like a landmark day for us and a celebration where we look at the year's activities and also plan for the year ahead. This year we're celebrating it on our land in Ganeshpuri. So I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to be part of the celebrations. And with that, thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hand it back to you.
Thank you, sir. thank you for such deepest and impactful introduction for our today's guest of honor and speaker. So without any ado, I would like to invite our today's guest of honor, international spiritual leader and global humanitarian and most impactful leader, Mohanji, to enlighten us for the discourse on the key to purposeful life with poetry. It is humble request to all of the audience to please keep your phone on the silent mode.
Right, good.
Good afternoon to all of you. Dignitaries on the dais and all of you dignitaries. Thank you for having me here. It's really a pleasure, and more than a pleasure, it's an honor for me to be able to come here, meet you, talk to you, and I feel this is a great privilege. What you saw on the screen are expressions of some aspirations, but I believe that there's no end. No, we have to keep moving. There is the moment you feel that you have achieved something, please understand we are stagnating. The moment you feel that you know something, we stop learning. So it's a very tricky situation. If somebody praises you and tells you, hey, you've done well, it could be a trap. We could be moving towards stagnation. And we learn more from failures than success. Success is sometimes a comfort zone. And what's the problem with comfort zone? In comfort zones, nothing new happens. Please remember, mostly our education system, I'm not blaming the education system, but what are we teaching children? How are we bringing up the children? To be successful. Successful. How? Getting a job, standing on their own legs, able to provide a family, provide for a family. This is what we normally bring children through, because that's what we tell. And we tell them, please compete with other people, you should get better marks. You should always win more, or win more times, or be more successful than the other. But at no point in time, anybody asks the children, are you really happy? Are you contented? Is there something else you can do? And the system is good, the intention is good, but what happens is people easily become complacent as soon as they get a job. Salary is coming, and salary becomes a bribe to be quiet. You know, then they stop innovating, they stop improving, people stop learning, and eventually, easily, at the time of retirement, people become redundant. I don't believe in retirement. We should never retire. Why we retire? Because the social system says that now it's time for you to go home and stay there. It doesn't mean you're retiring. Till your last breath, you have work to do, something to do. So I always believe that we have to get back to our nature. You know? See, when I talk about nature, I'll try to explain this so that it's easy to understand. All the animals, all the birds, all their lives, they just live their nature. A cow lives its whole life as a cow. A tiger is a tiger all life. It doesn't change anything. In our house, a domestic cat or a dog doesn't change its behavior. It doesn't change anything from birth till death. nature, very nature. They stick to their nature. We also have a nature. How do we know our nature? Is something ticking? How do we know our nature? Very easy to understand. What is effortless for us? That's our nature. There will be a subject which is very easy for us. See, I'll tell you my example. Everybody said that I should take economics when I was studying and said that this is very good, be an economist or get into the bank or all sorts of things. And I took economics. I had no interest in economics. Later, I spontaneously moved to English literature and everything was easy for me. All the books I could say by heart, Shakespeare. I could do. So this is nature. What is your orientation? That's your nature. What is effortless for you? That's your nature. And the moment you start stabilizing yourself in your nature, you are already successful. Then you are spontaneous. You are not tired, you are never bored. And eventually, you can probably create a lot of things in the world. So many things. On the other hand, if you have studied something, or if you are working for money, or just for the sake of salary, what happens? A life which is more or less dragging. You know, you're just living, dragging. And then what happens? Then you are in a run. That's where external competition comes. I should do better than the other guy. Otherwise, if you're sitting in your nature, you're already happy. You're already excelling in your own thing. And you wouldn't care about other people. Let them win, no problem. Let them do whatever they can. It's fine. So it's a simple thing. Getting back to your originality will make you powerful. When you establish yourself in your nature, then you are stable. And when you are stable, you are effective. When you are effective, you are well respected, recognized. If not, every day is a boring day. You know, have you heard the word ennui? E-N-N-U-I. In English, it's pronounced as ennui. It is that repetition gives you boredom. And that gives you stagnation. You fail to grow. And then what happens? Like the Chinese say, you become readiest for the axe. This is very common in the world today. But fortunately, the youth of today refuses to have that kind of a setup. I've spoken to various students, various youth, and they don't like to be experiencing repetition of at all. The IT industry, the new waves of things, they are constantly trying to move forward. They're moving forward. This is a very good sign. People want to explore, experience, enjoy life. You know, our usual concept of enjoyment is when we get holidays, we go to some place and we try to do so many things which we could not do in the other days. We become tired and we come back more tired than we were before. This is our way of experiencing enjoyment. That's not enjoyment. And in some cases, eating is enjoyment. And what it gives is obesity, which it takes time to share. So, being with your nature is the fundamental for having fulfillment in life. Understand your nature. That's the fundamental. Each one's nature is different. There are nobody alike. So, if we are trying to tell everybody should be the same, it is not the way creation has happened. Creation itself has given distinction. We are distinct. We are extraordinary. Every individual. Nobody is like the other. It's useless to compare. It's 100% useless to compete. Because what are we competing with? Another karmic being who's born at a particular time and will die at a particular time. That's useless to compete with. Upgrading happens only when you love the subject. Otherwise, everything is a burden. See, the government changes systems, right? You're asked to do a different thing in the office than before. It's tedious because sometimes when we somehow manage to do these things and then you want to change it, or if you're forced to change it, it gives a lot of burden. So, being alive in life is very important, and that only you can create it. And how? Even if you're working in a particular order, in a particular state, explore your naturality. What is natural for me? What is effortless for me? If what is effortless is understood, you're already stable. And that effortless thing which will give you stability and enjoyment will help the entire life. This is the bottom line of every aspect of success, not just job or some other activity. In every aspect of subject, it is like that. And also it's interconnected. When you set right one thing, other things fall in place. It's not that you have to correct every aspect. You don't have to. When you set right one aspect of your life, everything else works positively together. And then you will be recognized. Please remember, there are 8 billion people out there in the world. Maybe more now. 8 billion people out there. 8 billion people have 8 billion character, constitution, desire pattern. They are all individuals and they all have aspiration. They all need the space that you take. So it's always like that. And another aspect is, if you take the next 100 years, even the child born today will not be living in this world. It will be a fresh set of people. So our time, our space, they are all not ours. It's temporarily we are holding it. Somebody else will come over. They will take over. So we need to be always remembering this, that at this point in time, this is my space, but not forever. And also, what is meaningful in life should be concentrated on, or concentrate only on what is meaningful, not what is like sensational or emotional, because they all go, they all change. See, I've seen that there is a lot of emphasis on religion, religious activities. Religion are for human beings, not that human beings are for religion. That fundamental constitutes to be alive. Anybody can follow any religion as they like. What suits them is good for them. Nobody has the right to say this is okay, this is not okay. Violence is like perversion. We don't have to be violent. We can be kind, we can be cool, and we can be effective still. And what force brings you is not sustainable also. When you use force to implement something, it's not sustainable. Out of fear, people may do it for some time, but what people will do out of love is sustainable. It's more sustainable. So we should not waste a lot of time on thinking, talking, doing religion. I repeat, doing religion. Instead, you should connect to yourself more and ask this question: what makes me happy? What makes me stable? Not just happiness. Please don't think it's just happiness. It's stability. Stability, contentment. Contentment has a lot more value here. What is contentment? You are fine and complete at each moment. In every situation, every moment, you are fine. You are happy. Happy in the sense, you are enjoying that moment. This is what? Every moment, contentment. This gives you fulfillment. Otherwise, we have lived the whole life. After a while, when you look back, what you see are days. Countless days, not countable days. You know, I would say you should make each day count. You should make each day count, because we don't have a lot of time on earth. You know, as I said in the last program, if you are living 90 years, it's only 90 birthdays, 90 summers, 90 winters, 90 springs, you see. And also, each point in time, we should be capable of enjoying that time, right? After a certain age, it may not be possible to enjoy. I was talking to one friend. His father was a very active guy. He was doing very well in life. And he had a stroke, a paralytic attack, and he was in bed. So another friend of mine, classmate, he visited the father of this guy, and this guy asked him, "What is your wish? Do you have any wish in life?" So he said, "I have a wish. Without help, I would like to walk from my bed to the gate of this house." You see, At that point in time, that was his only wish. But he was running around before, and each time we should remember that every moment is precious. Yesterday I wrote, it has become a quote now, I wrote about go home. I said, you should try to go home sometime. Because home will be there probably, but the people in the home may not be there. People would have changed or gone. So if you don't go home for a long period of time, the place will be there. Without the people, that place will not feel at home. Feel like home. So there are so many valuable things in life, you know. One is a relationship. Excellent relationships for which you need trust. Trust is very difficult in the world today. Do we all trust each other? That's what makes me sad. When people talk about religion, religious divides, class divides, cultural divides, I said, what divide is it? I mean, this 195 countries of the world means the aberrated mind of people. It's only one world, and we are only walking here for a few years. And before we realize we are living here, we are dead. So, what is this divisions in the world? Visas and so many problems to go from one place to the other, and some places say you are not welcome, some places say you're welcome. What is this? See, we have created division after division. The new generation, what I would like to see is that they should come out of this. One of the things which I heard, I was in Netherlands, and one person said, do you know, he asked me, Mohanji, do you know which is the fastest growing philosophy in the world? I said, no, what is it? He said, atheism. Nastic. No belief in religion. Why? Because it's boring for the new generation. New generation is all computer oriented, mobile phone oriented. They don't even look into the eyes of people. You know, all the communications are happening through tablets, phones, and they don't want rituals. They don't want anybody telling them what to do in life, and they don't want want you to talk about heaven, hell, sin. So this is what's rising now. Quite a lot of people, and on one side, people talk about religions for the politics sake, political divide sake. On the other side, another generation is coming up who doesn't care. Are you seeing this in the society, in your society? Or am I talking Greek and Latin? Can somebody answer? You see this happening, right? Yeah, see, this is a reality, right? It's a reality. People don't see eye to eye. People are living in their own cubicle and their own world. Each person has own world, like an island. Each person who owns a mobile phone has personal islands. Nobody's allowed to enter there, isn't it? It's dangerous to enter. So this is the world now. This is the new world now. But we have to acknowledge this world. We have to understand this world is existing now. It's not like what we had 20 years ago. It's different. Each time, like I'm sure the studies would have happened here also. In 1986, if you talk to a person, you can convey that message in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, you can talk to a person and convey a message. Imagine I'm trying to tell you something new. I can take 15 minutes to tell you that story. Today it's 8 seconds. Today it's 8, if you cannot tell something within 8 seconds, you cannot talk. This is the truth. People don't have attention because that's the way Twitter age of Twitter. Say briefly, concise, if you understood, otherwise bye-bye. You see? We are living in a very fast-paced world. Systems are changing. Education levels are changing. Understandings are changing. But on one hand, I feel there is a positive side. People are becoming realistic. They are ready to say, this doesn't suit me. I think this is a very good sign. I like people questioning, not swallow somebody says. I always tell people, don't believe what I say until it becomes your experience. How do you know I'm not lying? The philosophy I'm talking about. It might be true to me, but until it becomes true to you, it's not yours. It's not yours. So if you don't want to try it, it's perfectly fine. Why should you try everything? But that respect, that this is okay for me, after trying, it suits me. Like we try shirts in the shop. We try, okay, this fits me, okay, I buy it. If it doesn't fit me, I don't need it. We don't buy things thinking I will alter it tomorrow, like past. You know, somebody gives us a shirt which is twice our size, then we cut it and trim it and alter it, and that doesn't exist now. We wear it, okay, it suits me, we buy it, otherwise we throw it away. This is the new community, this is the new society coming up. So, this question, key to purposeful life. For purpose, to be clear about purpose, you have to get back to your nature. What you essentially are. That's your mold. That is what you are. And from there, you can evolve into a very, very powerful state. Another aspect, I'm not talking more now. I think you're all tired a little bit. One aspect is that, which I experienced all the time. Whenever we start something new, like Madhu was talking about various things which we do. But you know, whenever we try to talk, I'll give you one example. Registering in Switzerland, very tough, because the rules are tough, everything is tough. And why I decided to register in Switzerland is because one day I was flying, Devi and I, we were going to Heathrow, right, UK, London. And in the flight I asked her, after Mohanji's death, how will this organization function? You know, this is a casual talk in the flight. She was sitting next to me. I said, what will happen to all the people who are with me? So many people are connected to me in the world, hundreds of people. What will happen to them? You see, Mohanji is dead. How this, so many countries, registrations and all these things, and also how people, and also how do you know that what I'm talking will be spoken by the next generation? No guarantee. Even while you're living, when you say something, by the time the third person knows, it will be a different subject. You see how interpretation changes? So while we are living, it's happening. So after death, how will it happen? So she asked me, so what do you do? I said, we need to make a foundation which is globally applicable. Means you should make a foundation where everywhere, every country, it should be accepted and could be implemented. Which countries we can do it? Like if I register in India, only it's applicable in India. If I register in America, it's only applicable in America. So where do you do? So we went to Switzerland. 2 countries are possible for global registration. It's like a law. You know, it's creating a law, not a trust. You know, it's like a finally say that this is how it will function. 2 things I wanted to safeguard. One is my people, and the second one was my philosophy. My philosophy had to be narrowed down to one. See, they will ask you questions in such a way that you have to simplify it, like even a child can understand. What's the core of your spirituality or your philosophy? Humanity. Very simple. I believe in human beings. I don't believe in religions. I believe in, you can follow anything you like. I appreciate it because that's your choice. So that's fine, because I have followers in Saudi Arabia. I have followers in Iran. A lot of people are following me in Iran. So all these places, so they all follow their own things, but they also love me. So they are belonging to me or connected to me, my family. So we registered in such a way, and then all the people should be protected and the philosophy should be protected. It took a year and a half, am I right? It took a lot of up and down communication, legal involvement, blah, blah, and they don't know whether you are doing it for money laundering, right? See, there is no trust in the world today. If you want to know how much trust people have for people, just go to the airport. How much they frisk you, that is a sign that nobody trusts anybody. You know, everybody is a potential terrorist. So, in this world, when you want to register something genuine also, you have to prove. And that's fine, we have to do it. And it's good. We have to do it because at least recordically, we have all these things stable. So after my death also, I cannot change it now. Even I can't change it while I'm alive. So naturally, it will transfer to the next generation. Secondly, their auditor, government auditor is our auditor. Same auditor. And we didn't register it under the department, we registered under the federal government. How many people said, you're wasting your time, it will not happen. After all this exercise, it will not happen. So many people discouraged us, so many people said, you're wasting your time, why don't you use that time for something else? But we stood. We had to, because this was very important for me. You know, this thought about after Mohanji's death, what will happen? I wanted to put it in the order, otherwise it is not done. And we did it before the COVID. That also. just before the COVID. I think January we got the confirmation, February or March COVID started. Even that could have probably pushed it further, but thank God it all happened. So everything we do, there are 10 people who would say, "Aapse nahi hoga. Ye nahi kar sakte." I'm guaranteeing you, and we have to keep moving. And who are talking this mostly? Who have done nothing about it, nothing like this in life. People who have done something or done more, they will never say this. People who have done something in life will never talk like this. Those who have done nothing, they will say, "Don't waste your time. Arey, kya kar rahe? You know, ye nahi hoga aapse." All these things you hear, and you got to keep moving. You have to keep moving, and so, and after you reach a certain stage, then they start appreciating you. Hey, I knew that you will achieve it. You see, this is human nature. This is how life works. But we have to keep moving, you know. And don't expect that somebody will stand behind you all the time. The most expected people may not even be there with you. They may walk away. Some people get disappointed with you. Hey, you're doing something which I don't want to do, which is fine, because if they stay with you, you can't do that thing. Sometimes when people go, you feel a relief. Oh, thank God. Okay, let me proceed now. Sometimes when people are with us, like there is a thing sometimes when people enter the room, there is a brightness in the room. Sometimes when people leave the room, there is brightness in the room. So this is part of life. You know, this is part of life. Always, remember, this is how life works. But with full gratefulness for everybody, because all the people are adding value to us one way or the other. Those who cheat us also tell us some dimension of life, right? Because sometimes they don't, see, let me tell you one thing. What I've experienced while traveling in the world, many people do not know love. They do not know how to handle love. If, imagine you say, "I love you," to anybody, they will ask, "What do you want from me?" You know, we have gone to that level where we think everything is transactional. Love needs nothing. You know, you can love somebody for nothing. And that's real love. If you're loving somebody for something, that is not love. That is something else. It's probably a deed. You know, it's probably a deed. Thank you. You know, various things in life we have to learn. Probably we have to go back to the basics to learn what are the essentials of life. We have decided love needs something to give and take, which is not true, because we believe love is between two human beings, ideally a male and a female. That is that's not it. Love is a state. You are love, not you are in love, which is different. You can be in love. You can be in love many times. Romance is good, because when you're romantic, you feel young. And it doesn't need a woman or a man to be romantic. You can be romantic by nature. And what happens is that the freedom aspect is lost when you expect something. The moment you expect something, even in return, "Oh, I'm loving you, what are you giving me back?" Finished. Freedom is gone. Then you are waiting. This person is not giving me anything now. What happens then? Next is, "I don't like you." Hatred. You see? That's not needed. In love, you don't need that. You can just love for the sake of love. And that will get you a space in the hearts of people, which money cannot buy. You know, I always say, like, there was an interview recently, so I asked, "What is your biggest achievement in the world?" I said, "My space in the hearts of many people who do not speak my language." You know, some of them do not even know English, but they love me. They wait to see me. They come to airports. So I said, this is what I have earned in this life. Not these centers and other things. They all will pass to another person when I die. Even now, I don't live there all the time. We have lands and spaces, but that's not for me, particularly. How much land I need? Some place to put this body at some point in time. Apart from that, I will not use any of this. But the space I have earned in the hearts of people lives forever. This is why I say the fulfillment project, and the purposeful is, I'm taking to the next level now. Fulfillment project depends on what you have given to the world. It's very simple. The equation is very simple. What value you added to the lives of people, that tells you your net worth. Not how much money you have in the bank or how much wealth you have, property, land. They all will pass hands. It will go. And even now, just an example, our grandfather's grandfather was a great man, no doubt, right? Our grandfather's grandfather, but do you know him? Do you remember him? Have you seen his picture? I'm 100% sure he was also a great person like us. He also had his space, he had his relevance, he had his emotions, he had his feelings, he had everything. Grandfather's grandfather. But do we know him? Same with us, the next generation to come. We are obsolete. We don't exist. Our relevance is strictly based on what we give. And very small. And also, that is why in life we have to set things right. It is just like a fine tuning. The machines we fine tune, right? So that it's optimal performance. We got to set things right. First is what is most important in your life. What's the most important factor of your life? You. You. Who else? Without you, there is nothing else. When you're sleeping, there is nothing else for you. You are the most important aspect of your existence. If that is not understood, practically nothing much is understood in life. I give you another example. We believe that we can sacrifice ourselves for the sake of other people. Pure illusion. Pure illusion. I'll tell you an example. This was a few years ago. I was in America. So I met one woman, single mother. She's got a son, and son is getting son is in a university. He's learning, and the lady's husband died. She didn't marry again for the sake of the son. And what happened was, son got out of the university. This is in East Coast, so he went to West Coast. He got a job in San Francisco, good job in San Francisco, and he found a girl in the same office. He fell in love, and the first thing the girl told him was, I don't want to live with your mother. If you want me, you should be with me here. So the son politely told his mother, I'll come and meet you, you don't come here. You see? And I'm sure 20, 30 years or 25 years she spent to bring the son to this level. And finally the son said, I'll live my life, I'll give you time, my time, at my time. But not the lady. Lady doesn't want to. She was devastated. She came and told me, she was crying actually. She told me, I need private time with you. So I said, okay, we talk. She said, you know, Mohanji, I sacrificed my life for my son. And you see what he has done to me. I have no more life, no more future. So I said, mother, you sacrificed nothing. This was an investment for you. You know, you have sacrificed nothing. You were not marrying somebody else because you don't want to take a chance. What if that guy beats you up or is not good? So you were safeguarding yourself, protecting yourself from that kind of a situation and fooling yourself, saying that you're sacrificing your life for your son. But what has actually happened? It was an investment. Investment went wrong. That is what happened now. You invested on him thinking that there will be dividend. Dividend didn't happen. Now you are suffering. She said, Mohanji, I think you are right. I said, okay, of course I'm right. You know, see, don't fool yourself with stupid emotions. Because you are in a fool's paradise thinking that we are nurturing somebody to help us when we have a problem. We have to help ourselves. End of the day, it's you and you. You see, you can help anybody, but not expecting that that person is going to repay you. When I give some money to people, some people ask money and I don't expect them to return. So it's not sitting in here, so I don't have a problem. So I will not say, oh, he cheated me. If you are expecting, it's not cheating. And people love to cheat like that. But that's not our problem, you see. So various times in life, we have to put things straight. Don't bring your children up thinking tomorrow they are going to protect us, take care of us. It's a new generation coming up. They may have their own priorities. You mind your own business so that you will be stable. Purposeful life should look like that. Like how the birds do. They make a nest, they lay eggs, they nurture the children, and when the children are ready to fly, they said, get out, go away, you know. And the nest is broken. Maybe some other word use the nest, we don't know. But this is exactly how we should, now the next generation, this generation coming up, we have to handle it accordingly. If they repay, excellent. God bless you. You see, then dharma is working. Don't expect dharma to work so easily. This is Kali Yuga. You see, you can follow dharma for your sake, for your purity's sake, no problem. But don't expect that everybody is going to look at you, support you. And also, sometimes we put hooks, saying that hey, we took this loan for you, now you got to come and pay. And the son goes away. The father ends up paying the loan. You know, these kind of situations, you know, we have to look at life realistically. We have to look at every aspect of life realistically so that our stability is not affected. That's why I said, you are important. You. This is not in a selfish way. I don't think it's being selfish. That's not what I mean. Being practical. Being practical. I do this, okay, I help you, I do this, I nurture you, all that. And I'll be happy to see you standing on your own feet. Your enjoyment would be stability of another person. Don't expect anything back. You are stable then. This is fundamental today. There are various situations like this. I come across lots of people, we meet a lot of people in the world, but emotions are same, feelings are same, desire patterns are same, suffering is also same. And 80% of the suffering is created simply because we expect too much. Expectation is creating these disappointments, nothing else. Nothing else. See, nobody, how can you expect that somebody should be forsaking their own life structure to come and help you? If it happens, well and good, amazing. There is still values and stuff, no problem. But that expectation can become bad. I think recently in Bombay, there was this billionaire who wrote everything to his son and he was thrown out. I saw in the newspaper. Huh? Yeah. You know, what sort of, you know, it's not even worth the article. Why? Because, why did you do this? You keep your stuff and give whatever you want to the rest. Your oxygen should be on your face before you help other people, right? That's what even the airlines tells every time. Put this thing on your nose, then you put it on other people's nose. This is exactly it. See, you can't be foolish because you love. You know, love, again, this is probably not love. I would use the word foolishness rather than love. You know, why I was telling her also that all the assets and all the things which I have heard will go to everybody, or everybody will enjoy it, well, everybody will experience it. That way we can stabilize people who are with us. At least I will leave with the feeling that all people are still enjoying or experiencing what it is. That's the best I can do for me. There's no guarantee for life, because we have seen COVID, when COVID came, nobody could do anything. So China tested and proved that biological warfare is effective. We can do it. It works. And next generation, we don't know. This next 10 years, we don't know. Let's say 25 to 35. We don't know. Probably like, I think Putin was telling about next war will be war of satellites. All the hundreds of satellites up there, they all blown up. We go back, we retard to another time. Possible, right? Another virus, possible. World war is possible. World war means not like the world war like 1940s world war, that's different. But this could be a different equation. You know, and also we don't know what sort of a coalition will happen. And all for the sake of power, control, the usual stuff. See, even now, we have seen a degeneracy. Like you see, the time of Lord Ram and those times, who was advising the king? People who have nothing to do with life, saints. They wanted nothing from anybody. As long as they get a place to sleep and food to eat, they are happy. They were not earning wealth, or they were not amassing wealth, and they were doing things. They were advising the kings. So what will they advise? Stay with Dharma. Do what is good. Be righteous. This is what they will say. Next level of rules came Who are the advisors? Businessmen. What will businessmen want? Business, profit. That is next level. Now in Kali Yuga, in our time, who are advising the king? Kings, rulers, war machine makers, arms dealers. What will they tell the king or the rulers? Wage wars, isn't it? See, I was in Serbia or Slovenia, I don't remember, when the Palestine thing happened. So I was talking to one of the diplomats. So we were having a coffee, so I was talking. So I asked, when will it stop? He casually said, as soon as the America finishes the deal, arms deal, it will stop. Simple answer. So it's not about people dying or anything, it's whole completion of a deal. We have degenerated too much. We don't know how much we have degenerated. You know, in awareness, in consciousness, it is important we create kind men. You know, that is what I am trying to do and people like me are trying to do, from mankind to kind men. You know, being good, being kind. We don't want anything from anybody. We don't want to take something from somebody's pocket. Let them experience what they've got. What is the big deal if I get what they have in their pocket in my pocket? It sometimes becomes a burden. There are consequences. Let everybody be happy, let everybody live together, and there is harmony that way. It's everybody's effort and everybody's responsibility to have harmony. This is what I was telling in Brazil also, that in the program I said, see, if you're holding the passport of a country, your country, more than rights, you should talk about responsibilities. I believe that, because everybody, we can't we can't give the responsibility only to the elected members. Everybody is responsible, all of us are responsible. In our way, in our sphere, we are responsible. And it's not like one person is more important than the other. We are all important. We are all important. We all have responsibility. That's about it. And I will take your questions if you have any. Thank you.
कोई क्वेश्चंस हो तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. Any questions from the audience?
If you have any questions, then please feel free to ask.
Yes, please. Yeah. Good afternoon.
So you talked about being stable within oneself, and then one can be spontaneous and be creative, and so you talked about being stable within oneself, and then an individual can be creative and spontaneous and be more successful. So then, what is the way to do it?
Yeah. You know, fundamentally, when we look into ourselves, you know, what do we normally see? See, what is our training normally? Is to compare with another person. Like in our childhood, I'm sure all of us have heard that you're not like your other person, even like your brother or sister, or you're not like somebody who's having top marks in the class, things like that. We've been trained to compare. That's the fundamental we have to stop. Whenever the comparison happens in mind, pause. You are incomparable. One. After this, comparisons are not happening, then it's much easier for you. You're not comparing with anybody, so you're not competing. Right? You're doing your best to your satisfaction, not somebody else's satisfaction. Second is, it will take you to self-acceptance. Self-acceptance means you accept yourself with all your weaknesses and all your strengths. Please remember, there is nothing called perfection. Perfection is always a process. How do you know that? See how many mobile phones are coming up. By the time you go stand in queue and buy a mobile phone, there's a better perfection happened in the store, right? So perfection is always a process. So don't waste your time trying to go to the perfect level. Instead, do it to the satisfactory level. Means not like a mediocre level, to your satisfaction, your highest ability. Your highest ability, and then leave it there. Then if you want to do better, increase your skills. Again, you are not competing with outside. What are you doing? You are looking within. This level I have done well. Now I have to improve further. Let me have more skills. So it's self-improvement, self-acceptance, self-respect. First and foremost, all of us have toxic relationships. There are people with us who pulls us down. Haven't you experienced? There is somebody who tells you, hey, theek nahi hai, aisa nahi karna hai. All these things all the time. And then you start believing it, and you start believing in it also with you in your life. So what you need to do is stay away from such relationships. You say, you be grateful to them for opening your eyes against something which should not be done, but stay away. Self-respect. Where you are not wanted, don't be there. Where you are unwanted, where you are disrespected, don't be there. So self-acceptance, self-respect, and that will take you to the level of stability without much more than you know. So you are not trying to compare with anybody. You are not competing. You are performing as per your optimum, and you are not doing that to prove to somebody. It is to prove to you that you have done your best. And then raise your skills and proceed further. After a while, you will be excelling in what you do. And if you cannot recognize, others will recognize. Right? It's clear? Thank you. Please let me know if things are not clear so I can probably talk better. Yes, please.
How many people are actively connected to Mohanji Foundation globally?
That would be quite a lot of people, I think, because I don't know the counts. See, we don't have a registration or anything, so I think there are volunteers itself will be easily 5,000, more than 5,000 volunteers, and people who are connected will be much more. Yeah, but we don't have a particular registration. We don't have follow. See, what I wanted, very simple. Please come. What I wanted was maintain the freedom of them. I don't bind people to me. See, I follow the path of liberation, the moksha path. So I always keep them free, even from myself. So if they feel inclined to come to our programs, welcome. If they don't, but people stay because everybody loves freedom. So I follow the path of total freedom. So we cannot, I mean, there's no head counts. But it's substantial. I think we're growing very rapid. The rough estimate I can tell you, in 1 year the growth was 380% in numbers in 1 year. So will that be?
We don't track like that, but we have traffic stats from the website. So that is more than 100 countries people come to the website, and all the meditations are free for download. So there's no need for anybody to give their name. So we won't even know how many people are actually using it because it's free on the website, on YouTube, all platforms. There are 7 or 8 meditations that Mohanji has given. People practice them.
And many languages.
Yeah.
So various languages, and also this is a continuous process. And also I have more than 100 acharyas who teach people, and almost all my teachings are free of cost, except there are some things. I run retreats, which is usually in a hotel. Now of course in the ashram more, which has a cost. So otherwise we try to impart as free, and all our things are by voluntary donations and volunteers. So I leave it open and free. So this is the fundamental which I've been following for some time. Like we started Amukher in 2003, ACT Foundation in Dubai 2003. The main thing was no membership fee and no compulsory payment. So what we do is that we put up a particular, like for example, we had the Moroccan earthquake now. So we said Moroccan earthquake we would like to support, and some people from UK, they traveled to Morocco and they mobilized the people there, and so some people supported them from UK, and that's what we did. We did similar work in Turkey. We do work like that. Some of them I participate, especially like fruit tree plantation. We're planting 1,000 trees in Turkey in October. I did a few plantations before. We have almost 70 or 80,000 we have done already. Always fruit trees, because this is to sustain the forests and the food aspect. Means fruit trees will give food. So we only plant fruit bearing saplings, and that's happening around the world. Now I think in America The government, the forest department also in some state, they're participating with us. So many activities are happening and so many people. So very difficult to say exactly so much. Thank you.
I would like to ask one question.
Yes.
Actually, I believe and we all accept that spirituality is good thing. This is the pathway through which we can attain the eternal peace, happiness, joy, and even can achieve the blissful life. We strive to move ahead in this direction, but eventually we land up in the mass sticking to our own daily routine, mundane life. We get aberrated. We can't stick to this formula. Please suggest any pathway to continue on this righteous path and stay as you said, be you.
Yeah. Two different subjects. Righteousness it can be our attitude. We will not harm anybody, we will not hurt anybody, we will not talk bad about anybody, then you are righteous. You will not do bad to anybody. That is your righteous. So that is one side. See, spirituality is not something to be practiced. It is something to be felt. Simple. There is energy in you. You call it soul, atma, soul, or energy, whatever you call it. It doesn't matter what you call it. Just remember that you have an energy. And when that energy leaves your body, we call that body a dead body. Remember that. That is spirituality. Not practices, not doing so many things. Being is spirituality, not doing. We can, all these practices like meditation, yoga, kriya, all these are for alignment, concentration, discipline. You see, that cannot guarantee you that you will feel yourself. They help you, for sure they help you. That's why traditionally it's said. When you start remembering, I'm talking about remembering, not even sitting down and meditating. You remember there is an energy in me which is very important for me. That's all you remember. Then you will start looking into it. Hey, it's moving my heart. It's moving my stomach. You are not knowing that your heart is beating, right? But it's beating. You are breathing. You don't know you're breathing. Somebody is making it happen. There's an energy moving. It's functioning. And its function is experienced and is called life. So that remembrance is enough for being spiritual. You don't have to do so many things. And I would suggest don't do too many things. What happens is that people get caught up with activity and they do not progress. I've seen so many people who say, oh, I didn't meditate today. I feel down. Come on. Why you feel down? If you didn't meditate, nothing will happen. If you didn't go to a temple or God, nothing will happen. Because God is not waiting for you. You're going to a place of worship for you to get aligned. You see, everything is about us. That's why I said you're very important. Spirituality is basically a remembrance, not an activity. What are you remembering? There is an energy in me which is making my heart function, which is making me breathe, which is digesting the food, which is circulating my blood, all these things. That remembrance will take you from the gross aspect, physical body, mind, intellect, ego, to that of energy aspect. If you keep remembering that, you will, without your knowledge, you will start feeling that energy movement inside. Then the outside world will not affect you. That is stability in spirituality. When the outside world, whatever the outside, we cannot change it. We cannot change people. We cannot change character. We cannot change anything in the world. So when they don't affect you, you are fine. Instead we try to change the world so that we will be better. It never works. People are people, isn't it? So we don't try to do something which we cannot do. Instead, we feel ourselves. Path is feeling. We have to hug ourselves, feel ourselves, have faith in ourselves. I always tell people, you should have more faith in you than you have faith in me. I'm outside of you. At some point in time, this body will die. Go. Then what will you look at? But you should have faith in you. So this is how we grow spiritually. So spirituality is not an activity. It's not meditation. It's not yoga, kriya, nothing. They all will help you provided you like to do it. And if you don't do it, nothing will happen. Every moment as life is happening, if you are present, if your mind is there, you are spiritual. You see, when you were 3 years old, you were heavily spiritual. Why? Because your mind was always in the present. You are not worried about future. You are not worried about past. This is the practice. When your life is happening, which is not controlled by you, life is happening. Your mind is there. That is being spiritual. You see? So every moment it's possible, and that is all you need. After a while, you will know that you have surpassed so many boundaries, blockages, barriers, expectations. You will feel powerful.
Pranam Swamiji.
Yes.
Are there any specific practices or habits that we can help live constantly with purposeful life and intentions?
Like I explained just now, this concentrating on the present will not happen immediately. This is my experience also. So you have to create islands of concentration. Like concentrate for a few minutes, then mind goes away. Then concentrate for another few minutes, again mind will go away. So this job you have to do a few times for a few months. Later that small island will become bigger island. And gradually, that island will become a mainland, because mainly you will be in the present. When you are in the present for a long period of time, then you are more like a witness more than an activity leader. You are witnessing things live. See, I was handling 5 countries when I was practicing. Iraq, Yemen, Djibouti, Jordan, Sudan. And I was handling tankers, oil tankers. It's very high density job. So, most of it, I used to practice always between 3 and 8. 2:30 I get up. I had very little hair those days. So I take a shower. Right away I take a shower so that I don't feel sleepy. Then 3 to 8, I connect to myself. I was sitting in my zone. And then I go for a job. 8 o'clock onwards then is busy work. And mostly I have flights also, because I had 5 countries to handle. So I'm mostly in hotel rooms, then the airports and stuff like that. So it is not easy to have a discipline. But what was happening is, after a while, I see myself doing all this. I don't feel I am doing it. It's almost Mohanji is doing it, kind of feeling. Mohanji is talking, Mohanji is going to the flight. So that means there is another person looking at you. Like loss is almost $25,000 a day, because they're waiting for nothing. So I decided to create some kind of a system where you can optimize them. So by steaming slow, you arrive and then you don't have to wait. Okay, minimal waiting maybe. Few hours, not few days. And this program I presented, and it was basically GPS based and loading rate based. Loading rate in a port, like 80 million barrel with the fluctuating. So I look at the fluctuation, I look at the load rate, plus the GPS, and this computer programs what sort of a speed the ship should have. And this is conveyed to the captain. So the ship can come in that speed and it doesn't wait here. So this program I created myself. So many people ask me, so which maritime college did you go? I said, I didn't go to any maritime college. This is the activity, because the level of concentration was very high. I could easily put this together. So what I mean to say is that when you're not forcing yourself and taking it easy, be very effortless and don't have rigid formats. What happens is, rigid formats you get bored very easily. After a while you don't want to do it. It's tedious, See, please remember, if you have become 50 years, 55 years, whatever age, you have right from age 1 sitting in you. So first age, second age, third age, all are in success. So we are all at the same time a child and also a senior person. We are all same. So sometimes when rigid things are coming to you, you don't want to do it anymore. So I always say, don't have rigid practices. Instead, practice casually, you can attain the highest. See, for example, for me, I reached the level of silence, and the first thing I thought, level of silence means no thoughts. Very simple, no thoughts. It's in the Samadhi state, it's the 4th state, where the mind collapses. You become the minimal mind, and no thoughts. Thoughts are not happening because desires are not there. No desires, no thoughts, that state happened. First thing I thought was, I know nothing. The universe is all happening, and I'm like a child looking at the thing in wonder. And when people ask a question, I don't know the answer. There's nothing. And later I came to, you don't need to know anything. You know, that level of emptiness, completely empty. And what you need is coming to you. So you can retrieve anything at any time, but you are not carrying the burden of knowledge. And second aspect I felt was, there's nothing to prove in the world. You know, it is a waste of time to make somebody feel that you know something or you can do something. Another trap is the miracles. People think that, okay, spiritual people, you go to materialize something from the air and all these things, and then they okay, this is magic show or something, and then people connect like that. So when I had a communion, second communion with Babaji, Babaji said, you at Siddhis will come. Siddhis are happening, Siddhis will come, because it's like you become the CEO, all the perks connected to the CEO comes to you. You don't have to ask, house, car, everything comes to you. Like that, when you reach a certain level of frequency, all the attached Siddhis will come. What do you do with them? So he said, see, it's very impressive for the world, but very difficult for you. People will be impressed by you, but it will be a big trap. Because you have to sit down and perform miracles to entertain people, and people will come back again. Oh, it's nice. Can you produce something for me? Or can you solve this issue? And you will be like a plumber or electrician trying to sort things out. So he said, this is what you want, or you want to take people to liberation. I said, I want to take people to liberation. Then he said, drop everything. You don't need anything. Just be empty. So that becomes, you become more free. So life takes you to various levels by small steps. Small steps is to have concentration on limited time. Let's say 1 minute, half a minute, even less. So that point in time you are, oh, this is happening. And how concentration, not like concentrating on subject. Okay, now I'm speaking. That's the concentration. Be aware you're speaking, not that you're sitting down or standing and thinking, hey, okay, are anybody looking at me? That's not important. Now I'm speaking. Small awareness. Then it leads to, now I'm standing here. This is the space. Like that, that level of awareness starts expanding. So at one point in time, you become aware of so many larger stuff. And then it increases. So this is how you go deep with it. It's not difficult. And if it is difficult, it's not good for you. That's what I feel. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the time. And thanks to all of you for listening. And I wish all of you a great life ahead. Wish you all everything good. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us with your deep knowledge about the purpose of life, about the meaning of life, and about the human life. Once again, thank you so much. As a token of gratitude and honor, I would now like to request to Professor K.K. Dave, President PAHE, Professor Mohanji, Dean PC Studies, to present a memento to our guest of honor, Shri Mohanji. As we come to close of our today's event, I would like to invite Professor K.K. Dave, President PAHE, to propose the vote of thanks.
So very good afternoon to everyone. Now the task is given to me to praise vote. This is a very small word, because whatever respected Honorable Mohanji has explained each and everything of the life. Tea for you, and in case she was not available and talking with neighbor, you might get upset, and that you will find a conflicts may arise, a dispute may arise. You don't expect from anyone, then you will get very successful, very, you can be happy in your life. And similar, on the same day, I decided that you should not expect from anyone whether he is doing good for you or doing bad. And this is, mool mantra of the successful life. In similar fashion, I heard today in the morning session also on the YouTube, live YouTube, Mohanji. And recently I witnessed a lot of things. I experienced many things of, what is the key of for Purposeful Life. One thing, early in the morning he explained that experience counts a lot. Like sometimes you earn money, it does not make any sense. Experience count, like he has given one example of APJ Abdul Kalam while he was a president, and after the presidency and before the presidency, he was a common man. He enjoyed a life in a same phase when he was a president and he was before president, after president. In a similar fashion, if we realize all the things, though it doesn't matter or doesn't make any difference to all of us, without thinking much more about the what he is telling us and what is the impact of any person remarking on or reminding on any issues. I must praise sincere thanks to Honorable Mohanji. Day after, tomorrow basically, tomorrow we are going to celebrate a convocation ceremony 2024, and we are very fortunate to honor with honoris causa the degree of doctorate to Mohanji. He earned this degree by his work, by his mere presence in the 90 countries, and we are very fortunate, honored to recognize his efforts in the Pacific University. So once again, Mohanji, you are welcome here. Thank you so much for providing a knowledgeable speech, and I must say to thank you to everyone, those who have gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of enlightened their knowledge by listening him. Thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Professor Hemant Kothari, sir.
These are last few words because I know you all are very much tired, working hard for making convocation ceremony a grand success and sitting here for long. As sir has already given the thanks, but I would like to add up. I would like to thank especially the entire team of Mohanji for making this event successful here, especially Mr. Madhuji and Himanshu Gupta, who made these things possible and brought Mohanji here in Udaipur at Pacific University. So I extend my thanks to them for making this event successful. That's all. Have a nice day, wonderful day. We all shall be meeting tomorrow again in the convocation ceremony, celebrating the students' success. Thank you.
On behalf of the Pahar University, we sincerely thank Sri Mohanji, Srimati Devi Mohan and delegates for being with us today and enlightening us with their enthusiastic remarks. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Please feel free to have some tea outside the hall.